Total, we had around 250 houses affected by this, some with just flooding, some with structural damage. And so he was taking that all in.
Governor Ron DeSantis tours damage in Flagler Beach due to Tropical Storm Nicole. Preliminary damage estimates total nearly $24 million. Flagler County Commissioner Greg Hansen joined DeSantis Friday.
His questions involved around the status of the dune right now, and what we saw was a dune that had been, FDOT had already piled a lot of sand back on. So we had a replenished dune. So he didn't get to see the ravaged dune because FDOT had been so good. They were out here already. Those are temporary fixes. They're trying to put a sacrificial sand dune up there in case we get hit again.
The iconic Flagler Beach Pier, which took a beating during Ian, also lost another 30 feet or so. Hansen says plans are already in motion to reconstruct the pier.
They've got the pier under control. I mean, we're going to demolish the pier down to Funky Pelican and that far. So we'll have wooden pier out to the Funky Pelican, and then we're going to rebuild right in the same position. We're going to rebuild it with concrete.
Hansen says he and County Administrator Heidi Petito visited lawmakers in Tallahassee recently to work out funding and push for legislative changes that let them put in seawalls where necessary. A crucial Army Corps of Engineer project to replenish the dunes remains on hold.
We need that person to sign. Had she signed and this other guy signed, we would have had that whole place replenished, and this disaster would not have happened.
Of the $24 million in damage assessments, more than $13 million was identified in Flagler Beach. Beverly Beach saw just over $1 million in damage, while unincorporated Flagler County makes up the remaining $9 million. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
We've got challenges.
And those challenges have only gotten worse as a result of back-to-back storms. Tropical Storm Nicole did serious damage to A1A. Republican State Representative Paul Renner's district includes Flagler County.
The road system, some sections of A1A that have been taken out, fortunately have a significant federal match, and so I expect that can be done without a massive hit to the state budget.
Renner says they also need to look at mitigation efforts.
I was a little disappointed that the constitutional amendment failed that we put on the ballot, which would allow you to have some break on your property insurance if you made improvements that would address flooding concerns. I think we need to look at creative ways to help people mitigate raising their homes, setting homes back, doing additional construction materials that protect their homes in the event of a hurricane. We've got to get to that point where we continue to increase our resiliency.
Renner says Flagler County will have immediate concerns that don't have immediate solutions.
I know there's been some frustration here locally. I share that frustration about DEP, our Environmental Protection Agency, being resistant to rapid implementation of a seawall to protect these homes. And now, unexpectedly, we had another hurricane in the month of November. It may be too late for some of those folks, unfortunately. And so for those that are still holding on, we need to get all that pushed through the bureaucracy and make sure we're taking aggressive steps to secure the beach, get us back over a period of, I'm sure will be years, to get our dune system back in place, get it healthy again, protect A1A.
A special session of the Florida legislature before the end of the year aims to address the state's struggling insurance industry. In Flagler County, they're taking steps to reduce floodwaters in Marineland acres following the storm.
Flagler County engineer Faith Alkahib says the pumping effort began last Thursday.
We planned to bring in some pumps from St. John's Water Management District. We have some of these on the site. The contractor did a great job. The construction engineering team, excellent job to be mobilized. And after the storm eventually calmed down, they were out there pumping and trying.
They expect the levels to be back down by later today.
We keep monitoring the situation out there, the water level. I'm sure it's not going to be as bad as it was. It will get better. It depends how long it will take for all that water to recede and come back to normal activities here in Flagler County. But as you know, we have been lucky and fortunate so far. Floodings, yes, I know maybe some people, they got impacted, but our roadways still, they are passable.
The effort also helped Washington Oaks and all of the beachside area. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
What is the UF Whitney Lab?
Jessica Long knows. She's the Senior Director of Advancement at the lab.
Which means I help
fundraise for our programs, and I also do our external relations with government and others and communities.
Long said that Whitney Lab benefited to the tune of $41,000 over 4 years from the Taste of the Fun Coast.
That means food for turtles. That means the care from our veterinarian and our veterinary team, and getting those turtles well enough to return back to their ocean home.
Long said that the Whitney Lab does not get funding from the state or the federal government or Florida Fish and Wildlife, though the lab does get a lot of turtles from Fish and Wildlife. Lifeline is on Saturday mornings at 9 here on WNZF. It's on the Flagler radio app anytime. Tomorrow, how the Whitney Lab came to be in Flagler County. From the WNZF newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.